G'day folks, welcome to an OCC Queensland weather app today, the 13th of December 2022. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update brought to you by our major sponsor, TownsvilleSheds.com. Check them out if you're in the market for a shed-safe accredited shed. Rightio, to this morning we've got a little bit of storm activity off the Gulf Coastline. We've got a bit of cloud cover across eastern Queensland. We've got some storms off the southeast coastline. We've got quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity up in the northern Coral Sea associated with a weak circulation in the Gulf of Papua. We're not too worried about that doing anything. We've got a southeasterly wind pushing through the Gold Coast this morning, and that's going to push up into the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. As it gets to the Sunshine Coast this afternoon, it's going to kick off some pretty big thunderstorm activity across the Sunshine Coast, Wide Bay Coast, Burnett District. And look, even the southeast interior there's a little bit of a boundary that's still lagging in behind the southeasterly change, so there's probably some showers and storms on the escarpment in southeast Queensland. Other areas where we're going to see some good storms across the Gulf country, expecting that around the southern Gulf country, seeing some nice storms in there, and potentially across the Cape and eventually northeast inland Queensland too, should see some nice storms as well. So looking at this at 3 p.m, you can see convective rainfall, particularly around the Sunshine Coast, Wide Bay Fraser coastlines and the Burnett District, also through the southeast and central Highlands and Caulfield. Some of these storms could become severe, so keep an eye on the Bureau of Meteorology for your warnings for those. And notice here quite a bit of storm activity across the northeast inland parts and the Gulf country as well. Through the evening hours, these storms across southeast and central eastern Queensland will continue throughout the nighttime hours too. So you'll notice that there's quite a bit of convection going on overnight. Doesn't just stop once the sun goes down. So too for northern inland Queensland. You can see quite a bit of convection going on through the nighttime hours as well. Notice also there could be some pretty heavy falls, localised flash flood potential with thunderstorm activity. Flash flood index is particularly high with any thunderstorm activity in that Sunshine Coast, Fraser Coast area, as well as any thunderstorm activity across the northeastern ranges, inland of the northeastern ranges in northeast Queensland, as well as the Gulf and Cape region. That's not unusual for them, but it is a bit unusual to see such high intensity rainfall potential around that southeast region and also northeast inland Queensland. So I'd be paying attention to those storms, particularly northeast inland Queensland, because they won't be moving very fast up here, whereas down here at least they're going to be moving. Thunderstorm probabilities today, you can see, thanks to Meteorologics, storm probabilities up around 70 to 100% there across the Sunshine Coast, Wide Bay, Burnett District, and through southeastern parts of the Central Highlands and Coalfields. You can see storm probabilities up around 40 to 60% across the northeast inland Queensland area. And those storm probabilities continue, and that's the important part. We continue to see storms operating through the evening and nighttime hours across southeast and central east Queensland. As with all storm rainfall, it always is hit and miss. Doesn't mean everyone's going to get them. Doesn't mean everyone's going to miss out either. But by the end of the night, into tomorrow morning, you're going to find places are going to have over 100 millimetres. Some places are going to have less than 5 millimetres. Unfortunately, that's the nature of convective rainfall, and that's what we're expecting across many areas of the state today. Accumulated precipitation from the modelling here, we can see those heaviest falls once again around that Sunshine Coast, Wide Bay, Burnett District, and potentially through the southeast and central Highlands and Coalfields. Some lighter falls extending through the Capricornia. I'd be wouldn't be surprised to see some rainfall that's well and truly over and above the numbers shown on your screen here with regards to some of this North Queensland stuff, just because it might be a bit more slow moving and therefore opportunities to dump a bit more rain on individual locations. Very hit and miss though, very hit and miss up here about where those showers and storms will operate. We run a subscription service for way more detail and depth of information, and we also look a hell of a lot further ahead too. So head over to join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au and check out our subscription options if that interests you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Enjoy those storms. Make sure you pay attention to any Bureau of Meteorology severe thunderstorm warnings through the day. I'll chat to you tomorrow.